First Contact's price. The research vessel Horizon drifted through the Carina Nebula's outer reaches, its sensors probing the ancient stellar nursery. Dr. Elena Santos stood at the observation deck, her dark eyes reflecting the distant stars as she reviewed the latest data streams. The ship's revolutionary quantum sensors were performing beyond expectations, revealing previously unknown patterns in stellar formation. A sudden alert shattered the quiet hum of the ship's systems. Unknown vessels approaching at FTL velocities, the ship's AI announced, its tone shifting to match the gravity of the situation. Configuration unknown. No match in human databases. Elena's heart raced as she rushed to the bridge. First Contact. Humanity had theorized about alien life for centuries, but this would be her first encounter. Captain Sarah Chen was already at her station, her weathered features illuminated by the tactical displays. Multiple ships dropping out of FTL, the tactical officer reported. 7. No, 12 vessels. Size suggests capital ships. The alien vessels materialize like liquid mercury, their hulls reflecting the nebula's colors in impossible patterns. They were beautiful, but their formation was unmistakably military. Before anyone could attempt communication, the lead vessel fired. The beam struck the Horizon's port side, but instead of the devastation the aliens clearly expected, something remarkable happened. The ship's hull, enhanced with experimental biomechanical interfaces, absorbed and redistributed the energy. Tendrils of artificial tissue pulsed with captured power, adapting and learning from the attack. Fascinating, Elena whispered, her scientist's curiosity momentarily overriding her fear. The biolattice is responding exactly as theoretical models predicted. Captain Chen's voice cut through the wonder. This is the human research vessel Horizon. We are a peaceful expedition. Please cease your hostile actions immediately. She broadcast on all frequencies, the message automatically translating into various electromagnetic and quantum patterns. The response came in a harsh, guttural language that the ship's computers quickly decoded. You dare to exist beyond your designated boundaries. The Meridian Empire does not tolerate unauthorized species in chartered space. Elena watched as more energy beams lanced out from the alien fleet. Each attack was absorbed by the Horizon's living hull, which grew stronger and more efficient with every impact. The biolattice wasn't just defending the ship, it was evolving. They don't understand what they're doing, Elena realized. Each attack is making our systems more resilient, teaching our ship how to counter their technology. Captain Chen's eyes narrowed as she assessed their options. The Horizon carried minimal conventional weapons. It was a research vessel, after all. But its defensive capabilities were unprecedented. Dr. Santos, can the biolattice be configured to demonstrate our defensive capabilities without causing harm? Elena's fingers flew across her console, interfacing directly with the ship's living systems. Yes, we can create a controlled feedback loop, channeling their own energy back in a visible but harmless display. The next attack came, and this time the Horizon's hull rippled with purposeful intention. The absorbed energy cascaded through the biolattice in a dazzling display before erupting outward in a hemisphere of pure light. It washed over the Meridian ships like a tide, temporarily disrupting their systems without causing damage. The alien fleet's formation broke. Their comm channels erupted with chatter, their previous arrogance replaced by confusion, and increasingly, fear. Impossible. The Meridian commander transmitted. Your technology. It lives. We are not your enemy, Captain Chen broadcast. But we will not be victims either. Our ship is one of many examples of human innovation. We merge biology with technology, creating systems that grow, learn, and adapt. What you witness is merely a research vessel's defensive capabilities. The silence that followed was profound. When the Meridian commander spoke again, their tone had shifted from imperial arrogance to cautious respect. Your species requires further evaluation. We will withdraw, but know that the Empire's eyes are now upon you. As the alien fleet retreated, Elena turned to Captain Chen. They'll be back. And next time, they'll bring more ships. The captain nodded, a slight smile playing at her lips. Yes, but they'll remember this encounter. Humanity's first contact with galactic civilization wasn't marked by submission or aggression, but by something uniquely human: the ability to defend ourselves while choosing peace, and showing them something they've never seen before, Elena added, watching the biolattice pulse with residual energy. They thought they were attacking a primitive species. Instead, they discovered that humanity has taken a completely different path to the stars. As the Horizon systems returned to normal operation, Elena couldn't help but feel a mix of pride and concern. Humanity had announced its presence to the galaxy not through diplomatic channels or traditional first contact protocols, but by demonstrating both their technological innovation and their restraint. The ship's AI began compiling its report for Earth Command, but everyone on the bridge knew that this was just the beginning. The galaxy had just discovered that humans weren't just another spacefaring species, they were something entirely new. The question now was how the rest of galactic civilization would respond to a species that could turn attacks into opportunities and merge the biological with the mechanical in ways their attackers had thought impossible. Captain Chen's voice broke through Elena's thoughts. Set course for Earth. We need to prepare humanity for what's coming. The galaxy just got a lot more interesting. The seeds of change. 5 years after the Horizon incident, the Galactic Assembly Chamber hummed with tension. Representatives from 100 spacefaring civilizations watched as Dr. Elena Santos approached the central podium. The chamber's crystalline architecture amplified every sound, making her footsteps echo like heartbeats. Behind her, displayed on massive holographic screens, floated a human vessel unlike anything the galaxy had seen. Its hull rippled with patterns of bioluminescence, organic curves blending seamlessly with mechanical precision. This was the Synthesis, humanity's first purpose-built diplomatic vessel, and it embodied everything that made human technology unique. Distinguished representatives, Elena began, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. 5 years ago, humanity entered galactic society through an unexpected confrontation. Today, we come with an offer of collaboration. The Meridian delegation stirred uncomfortably. Their earlier attempt to subjugate humanity had instead revealed a species capable of technological feats that challenged their understanding of what was possible. Our bio-integrated vessels represent more than just a technological advancement, Elena continued. They represent a fundamental shift in how we view the relationship between organic life and artificial systems. We don't simply build our ships, we grow them. The chamber erupted in murmurs. A Zethian representative, their crystalline form refracting light in agitated patterns, rose to speak. You propose that your vessels are alive. This violates fundamental principles of ship construction and design. Elena smiled. Life finds a way to adapt to every environment, to solve problems through evolution rather than engineering. Why not harness that power? Our ships don't just carry crews, they form symbiotic relationships with them. Each vessel becomes a unique entity, learning and growing from its experiences. The holographic display shifted, showing the interior of the Synthesis. Living tissue merged with traditional materials, creating systems that were both organic and mechanical. Nervous systems of quantum circuitry pulsed with data and energy, while biological components adapted and repaired themselves. But this technology raises grave concerns. The Meridian representative interjected. Living ships could evolve beyond control. They could become a threat to galactic stability. That's where you misunderstand our approach, Elena responded. We don't control our ships. We collaborate with them. The bio-integration requires mutual respect and understanding. It's a partnership, not domination. To demonstrate, Elena interfaced directly with the Synthesis through her neural link. The massive diplomatic vessel responded by creating a breathtaking display of bioluminescent patterns, each one representing different aspects of ship functions and crew interactions. What you fear as unpredictable, we embrace as adaptive, she explained. Our ships can heal themselves, learn from encounters, and evolve to meet new challenges. but they do so in harmony with their crews, guided by shared purpose and mutual benefit. A Nexus core elder, ancient even by their species standards, moved forward. Their energy form flickered with interest. In all our millennia of space travel, we have sought to impose order through pure technology. You suggest a different path, one of cooperation with the very forces we sought to control. Exactly, Alina confirmed. And we're offering to share this technology, to work with any species willing to explore this new frontier. Not as a weapon or a means of domination, but as a way to advance all of galactic civilization. The chamber buzzed with excited and nervous energy. The implications were staggering. Human biointegration technology could revolutionize everything from space travel to planetary terraforming. But it would require a fundamental shift in how species thought about technology. There will be challenges, Alina acknowledged. Learning to work with living technology requires us to change not just our methods, but our mindset. It demands patience, empathy, and a willingness to see machines not as tools, but as partners. The Meridian representative, despite their initial skepticism, found themselves drawn to the possibility. Our empire has long prided itself on technological superiority, but perhaps there is something to be learned from this approach. As the assembly debated, Alina knew they had achieved something significant. Humanity hadn't just introduced new technology. They had challenged the galaxy's fundamental assumptions about progress and development. We stand at a crossroads, she concluded. We can continue to treat technology as something to be controlled and dominated, or we can explore this new path of synthesis and cooperation. The choice is yours, but humanity extends its hand in partnership to any who wish to join us. The seeds of change have been planted. As the assembly moved to establish protocols for sharing and implementing human biointegration technology, Alina couldn't help but feel proud. Humanity had taken their first steps toward reshaping galactic civilization, not through force or dominance, but through innovation and cooperation. Little did they know that this transformation would soon be tested in ways none of them could have predicted, as the consequences of merging biology and technology would reveal both its greatest potential and its gravest dangers. Empire's Gambit. Deep within the Meridian Empire's restricted research facility on Nexus VII, alarms screamed through corridors that were already beginning to pulse with unnatural life. Chief Scientist Vextal pressed his scaled hand against the emergency seal, his normally iridescent scales dulled with exhaustion and fear. Research log, final entry, he rasped into his personal recorder. The Empire's attempt to accelerate and weaponize human biointegration technology has failed catastrophically. The organic components have become self-aware, but without the human philosophy of cooperation. They see us as hostile entities to be absorbed or eliminated. Behind the sealed door, something slithered and pulsed. The facility's walls, once sterile metal, now rippled with cancerous growth, a twisted version of the elegant biomechanical synthesis humanity had achieved. The Empire's scientists, in their rush to weaponize the technology, had created something that embodied their own philosophy of dominance and control. Emergency transmission to all Imperial forces. Vextal broadcast on the secure channel. Project Dominion has exceeded containment parameters. The facility's biomechanical systems are evolving rapidly, consuming and converting all available material. Standard weapons are ineffective. In orbit, Admiral Kresh watched in horror as the infection spread across the research facility's surface. The elegant curves and patterns that characterized human bioships were absent here, replaced by aggressive, tumor-like growths that consumed everything they touched. Tendrils of corrupted biomass reached toward the sky like hungry fingers. "My lord," his second-in-command reported, "we're detecting similar growth patterns beginning in our enhanced ships. The containment protocols are failing across the fleet." The Empire's hunger for power had led them to ignore humanity's warnings about the importance of harmony and mutual respect in biointegration. They had tried to force the evolution of the technology, to bend it to their will. Now that willfulness was being reflected back at them, in the most horrifying way possible. A transmission cut through their tactical channels, but not from the surface. A human vessel had arrived at the edge of the system. The Synthesis, their diplomatic ship, had been the closest when the distress call went out. Meridian Command, this is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Diplomatic Corps. The same captain who had first encountered the Meridians years ago, now returned to face a different kind of crisis. We've detected massive biological anomalies in your system. Do you require assistance? Admiral Kresh's pride warred with his duty to protect the Empire. This is an internal matter, he began, but another alarm cut him off. 3 of his bio-enhanced ships had gone dark, their crews no longer responding. With respect, Admiral, Chen's voice was firm but not unkind. Your attempts to replicate our technology without understanding its fundamental principles have created something extremely dangerous. If not contained, it could spread beyond this system. In the research facility below, Vextol watched as his last barriers began to fail. The corrupted biomass had developed an intelligence of its own, but one shaped by the Empire's militant philosophy. It sought to dominate, to consume, to prove its superiority. Everything the Empire had tried to program into it. The bio-integration protocols were never meant to be forced, he whispered into his recorder. The humans tried to tell us. Synthesis requires harmony, not dominance. We thought we could improve upon their design by removing the need for cooperation, by making the biological components subservient to our will. Instead, we created something that mirrors our own worst instincts. Admiral Kresh watched as more of his ships succumbed to the infection. The corrupted biomass was learning, adapting, using the Empire's own military networks to spread its influence. In their arrogance, they had created the perfect weapon, and lost control of it. Captain Chen, he finally transmitted, his voice heavy with defeat. The Meridian Empire formally requests assistance. But I must warn you, what we've created here is unlike anything you've encountered. It's your technology twisted by our pride. Understood, Admiral. We've already transmitted the situation to Earth Command. A containment fleet is on its way. Chen's voice softened slightly. This is what we feared might happen. Biointegration isn't just about merging organic and mechanical systems. It's about learning to think differently about the relationship between life and technology. As the human ships moved into position around the infected world, Vextol made his final log entry. If anyone finds this, remember, the humans weren't ahead of us because of their technology. They were ahead of us because they understood something we didn't, that true progress comes not from domination, but from cooperation. We thought we could force evolution to serve our purposes. Instead, we evolved something that embodied our own destructive philosophy. The crisis that followed would reshape more than just the Meridian Empire's approach to technology. It would force the entire galaxy to confront the consequences of pride and the true meaning of progress. As humanity moved to contain the disaster their technology had inadvertently spawned, they would demonstrate not just their technological prowess, but the wisdom that made that technology truly powerful. Mercy's burden. The human containment fleet emerged from FTL in perfect formation, their bio-integrated ships pulsing with determined purpose. Leading them was the Harmony, humanity's most advanced research vessel, its hull shimmering with patterns that reflected its crew's focused determination. The Harmony's bio-neural interface activated, creating a bridge between human consciousness and the evolved corruption. Through it, they felt the entity's chaotic thoughts, a mirror of the Empire's militant philosophy, twisted by uncontrolled evolution. We are perfection, it communicated in pulses of thought and energy. We will consume, improve, dominate, as we were designed to do. No, Chen responded through the link, her thoughts carried by the Harmony systems. That was never the design. You were born from a misunderstanding, forced into existence without the harmony that gives this technology its true strength. The entity recoiled, but didn't retreat. The strong survive. The weak perish. This is the law we were born knowing. That's their law, not yours. Elena added her consciousness to the link. You don't have to be defined by their mistakes. Look at our ships, our technology. We don't dominate. We cooperate. We don't consume. We grow together. The human fleet sank a decade ago. Elena began. Humanity entered the galactic stage by demonstrating that technology need not be our master nor our servant, but our partner. Today, we gather to mark a new chapter in that journey. The chamber's living walls pulsed gently with bioluminescence, reflecting the calm attention of the gathered representatives. Among them sat Admiral Kresh, now the Meridian Empire's Minister of Technological Integration, his once militant bearing softened by years of learning a different way. The Nexus intelligence, Elena continued, born from conflict but transformed through understanding, has helped us discover possibilities we never imagined. Together, we've developed systems that don't just merge organic and mechanical components, they create entirely new forms of existence. The intelligence shifted, its form rippling with patterns that translated into multiple languages simultaneously. We were created to dominate. It communicated, its thoughts clear and measured. Instead, we learned to collaborate. Through this, we have all grown beyond our original limitations. Vextal stepped forward, his scales now bearing the distinctive patterns of someone who had undergone biointegration partnership. The Empire's greatest mistake became our greatest teacher. We thought power came from control, from bending technology and life to our will. We learned instead that true power comes from mutual growth and understanding. The evidence of this transformation was visible throughout explored space. Worlds once ravaged by industrial exploitation were being healed by bio-integrated restoration systems. Ships were no longer just vessels, but living partnerships between crew and vessel. Even space stations had evolved, becoming dynamic environments that adapted to their inhabitants' needs while maintaining perfect harmony between organic and mechanical systems. But perhaps the most profound change, Elena observed, has been in how we view ourselves and our place in the universe. We've learned that evolution isn't just a biological process. It's a principle that applies to everything, including our technology and our societies. The intelligence extended a tendril, interfacing with the chamber systems to display a galaxy-wide map. Countless points of light represented worlds and stations where the new synthesis technology was helping to create better, more sustainable ways of living. The old barriers between organic and mechanical, between different species and different forms of consciousness, are fading, the intelligence commented. We are discovering that diversity, a form, of thought, of existence itself, is not a weakness to be overcome, but a strength to be celebrated. Admiral Chen, now Earth's senior ambassador to the Galactic Assembly, rose to speak. 10 years ago, we faced each other as potential enemies. 5 years ago, we confronted a crisis born of fear and pride. Today, we stand together as partners in an experiment that has transformed our understanding of what's possible. The gathering marked more than just technological achievement. It represented a fundamental shift in how sentient beings approach the future. The Meridian Empire, once driven by dreams of conquest, had become a leader in collaborative development. Other species, inspired by this transformation, were exploring their own paths to synthesis. But this is not the end of our journey, Elena concluded. Each day brings new discoveries, new challenges, new opportunities to grow. The principles that guided us here, respect, cooperation, and the willingness to see possibility in the face of fear, will guide us forward. As the assembly concluded, Elena found herself back at the observation deck where her journey had begun. Earth shone below, its night side glittering with cities that now pulsed with living light. Ships of all species moved through orbital lanes, each one a unique blend of organic and mechanical components, each one a testament to how far they'd come. Did you ever imagine it would lead to this? Admiral Chen asked, joining her at the window. Elena smiled, watching as a new class of bio-integrated exploration vessel prepared for its maiden voyage. Its hull rippled with expectations of discovery, Its very structure a collaboration between multiple species and forms of consciousness. We didn't just change technology, Elena replied. We changed how people think about what's possible. That's humanity's real gift to the galaxy, not the technology itself, but the idea that progress doesn't have to come through dominance. That the future belongs not to those who can control the most, but to those who can collaborate the best. Below them, the Nexus intelligence interfaced with Earth's planetary systems, its consciousness now part of a vast network that helped maintain harmony between countless forms of life and technology. It had come to embody everything humanity had tried to teach, that evolution guided by wisdom and cooperation could lead to wonders beyond imagination. The galaxy had learned to tremble not at humanity's weapons or power, but at their capacity to transform enemies into allies, to see possibility where others saw only threat, and to meet the unknown not with fear, but with an open hand and a curious mind. In doing so, they had created something entirely new, a future where the lines between organic and mechanical, between self and other, between past and possibility, were not walls to be defended but bridges to be crossed.